All right, so deaf to being booked and busy. There's no way that you can be a freelancer or have your own business or be able to manage multiple projects without being able to put rest in. Rest is Bible. On the seventh day, he rested. It was a whole Sabbath. Like, there is time built into our week for us to rest. But what we have done is we've turned this booked and busy mindset into like a push, 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 push. So if you clicked on this video I am making to help us take a rest and a reset. I'm in Toronto right now. I am a theater nomad, as I would like to say, and my name is Tish, and I travel North America painting the town green, and I also have multiple projects that I handle between being a makeup designer on Broadway, having my own personal entrepreneurial endeavors, and I've had a freelance career as a makeup artist for the past 14 years. So I know a little bit about being burnt out, and I know a lot about making sure that you rest so that burnout does not happen, and also knowing the signs to burnout. So I'm taking you with me today on this vlog while I explore my rest in a busy city. I'm in Toronto, Canada, and this is like being in New York. And so there are moments of rest and relaxation that I need to find. And I have about 48 hours off from work because we did not have a show Sunday night and we don't have another show until Tuesday. So I'm about to head to the gym for a meditation class. We're not doing any crazy work. We are going to rest. So come with me on this vlog while I have a rest and relaxation 48 hours until I have to be at the theater. All right, let's go.
I'm nowhere close to a perfect man, and it takes a supernatural love to even understand that beyond the walls, behind the mask and confident smile, was a broken man trying to grow up and make life worthwhile. And I know there were times that you probably shouldn't, but I thank you for always loving me. And I know anyone else, they probably wouldn't, so I thank you for always loving me. Now I know there were days I'd look at myself, I felt like less of a person compared to everyone else. What about this flaw, too big, too small, can I exchange? And trying to make up for where I fell short, I let sin slip away. But when I look in the mirror and don't like what I see, oh, I just thank you for always loving me. And I know I get bad, but you wait patiently. Oh, I just thank you for always loving me. Oh.
The goal of this video is to show whoever clicks on this video that rest and relaxation is important no matter what is going on. No matter what goals you want to obtain, no matter what deadlines are there that make you feel like you have to keep plowing through, rest and relaxation are the number one things that are going to get you to exactly where you want to be in life. There's no success without rest and relaxation. It's literally Bible to rest. But before I even get into that, I want to look up the definition of rest. And rest, by definition, is cease work or movement in order to relax, refresh oneself, or recover strength. We also have be placed or supported so as to stay in a specified position. cease work or movement in order to relax, refresh oneself, or recover strength. So let's look up the definition of relax. Make or become less tense or anxious. Do not be anxious for nothing. This, if rest means to relax, and relax means to become less tense or anxious. And if we go into, oh, this is why Philippians 4:6 keeps coming up for me. So if the very definition of rest, there lies the word relax. And relax means to not be anxious and to release tension, literally. I'm going to Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 through 7. My friend Praise brings this up often. And it's crazy that it keeps coming back to this. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything through prayer and petition with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses every thought, will guard your hearts and minds in Jesus Christ. So where along the way did I, at what points in my path did I lose sight of rest? There's this culture of being booked, being busy to get to your goals. And when I first started doing makeup and being a freelancer, it was hashtag team no sleep. It was cool to be up late at night working on your goals. It was cute to only have a few hours of sleep in between gigs. It was cute. It was cute to not have rest. That's what the culture was giving, right? And from what I am learning, the more that I'm diving into my word, the more that I'm in Bible school, the more that I am reading what this word was left for me, the tools, rest comes up often. And along the lines, I've learned about self-care and how to tap into self-love and all of those things. And all of those things are in alignment, because if you love yourself enough, you will make sure you take care of yourself so that you have rest. Because if you love yourself enough, you will love other people enough to take care of yourself so that you can take care of them. You will know that you cannot take care of them without rest. God even rested. On the seventh day, he rested. I'm going to pick up the actual scripture. We have Genesis chapter 2, verse 2 to 3. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. Man, on the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. God loved us enough to rest because God is our example. Jesus Christ was our example, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. God is our example of rest. He did all of this. He did all of this, the heavens, the earth, the universe. He made everything that is of creation, but yet he rested because he understood the power of rest. He understood that rest is a new life, is a new birth, is a new creation. Rest is to be honored. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy. Holy is not of something that is regular and mundane. Something holy is not to be felt like it's a task or felt like it's something that is torture. Rest is not torture. A lot of times culture will make me feel like rest is not what is supposed to be done. That if I am resting too much, I am not doing enough. And my Bible says deaf to that, because the seventh day is holy. Working in theater, we don't have a traditional schedule. We don't have the Saturday and Sunday off. We don't even have 2 days out of the week to reset. Even if the average person has a job that maybe does not have a Saturday, Sunday off, they have 2 days off. That's culture's way. But in theater culture, you do not have 2 days off. You have one. That has shifted my perspective in a way that it must be the holiest of holy days. My Monday must be a holy day. It's all I have. It's literally all I have. And it almost feels like God put me in this unique position for that to be all I have, so that I would honor it in a way that it should be honored. There's no moving too much or doing too much on my Sabbath, which is a Monday. I try my best to honor the rest that my body needs on my Monday. It's what I'm doing now. I'm in my Bible. I'm on the couch. I just got out of the bed. This is something that is essential for me to have a fresh perspective. Let's look up the definition of perspective. The definition of perspective: a particular attitude toward or way of regarding something, a point of view. The only way to have a fresh perspective on your life, especially with me being in theater where I do the same thing every day. I do the same exact makeup the same way every day. Yes, there'll be bumps and things that happen along the way, but it's literally like a train. You know that the train is going to go to the same stops every day. But somewhat like MTA, sometimes we get off track and the train may be delayed, or the train is never too fast, but the train may be delayed, or the train might miss some stops. But like at the end of the day, we call them tracks in theater. My makeup track is always going to be the same, and if it gets derailed, it will get back on its railing at some point. So I do the same thing every day. And for me to be able to have a fresh perspective on what it is that I do for a living, and have a fresh perspective on what God's purpose is for me and in me and through me, I have to rest to have a fresh perspective. As a freelancer, before I had my corporate 9-to-5 theater job, right? My creative 9-to-5, I call it. It was very hard for me to take days of rest or to take a vacation. I often made excuses that I could not take too much time off because I would miss gigs, or I would miss this, or I would miss that. And it wasn't until I changed my perspective and prioritized rest where things really started to open up for me. Rest, or not having rest, lack thereof, showed God that I did not trust him to do what he said he was going to do. I have to rest so he can work. Just like you have rest days in the gym, because your muscles need to rest so that they can work. Our body is literally a window to how God manages creation. Not only does our body need rest for it to restore itself, but if you study the body is literally made. Our anatomy is made and constructed so that it can heal itself given the right environment. So for example, when you have a broken arm, it can heal itself in the right environment. That means a cast, that means rest, not overworking that arm so that it can heal. Rest is found in everything. So why don't we rest? I can only speak for myself. And the reason why I would lack rest is because I was living in a state of lack, not trusting God, not trusting his word. So I kind of want to get into what rest is doing for me. Rest is keeping me in alignment of what God has for me. Rest is showing me not to fight what it is that God is doing. I'm in this place in my life where I am noticing, as I'm approaching my last year in my 30s, I'm noticing how God is putting 20 somethings in my life to guide and mentor. And not just in the makeup space, but I have become a professor. So I'm teaching college age. Even before that, this is the thing about rest. Rest will have you reflecting, because I've always been in the atmosphere of teaching the youth. I was a cheerleading coach for a while, made a lot of strides in that arena in competitive cheerleading, was able to coach teenage girls into a first place win, the first cheerleading first place win in competition for the school district that I was working in. And I can't say that I did it through just managing their skills, but helping to guide them in managing their hearts and their heart posture. So I believe I have a unique gift for the youth. And with that, I haven't worked closely with the youth in a while until I got my professor job. And in that, I have had to learn how to rest, to ask God exactly what it is that He is doing. It's easy to get caught up in my mind specifically about me being my age and me being surrounded by the youth, because old people will act like there is this whole line of demarcation where the old stay here and the young stay here. It is literally Bible for you to use your wisdom to nurture generations. Let me pull this up. We got Psalm 78, 5-8. He decreed statuses for Jacob and established a law in Israel, which he commanded our ancestors to teach their children, so the next generation would know them, even the children yet to be born, and they in turn would tell their children. Then they would put their trust in God and would not forget His deeds, but would keep His commands. They would not be like their ancestors, a stubborn and rebellious generation, whose hearts were not loyal to God, whose spirits were not faithful to Him. That was Psalms chapter 78, verse 5-8. Commanded our ancestors to teach their children. The wisdom that we have, and I don't believe this is saying just children that you have birthed, but the generations. So that, let's go back to it. They would put their trust in God and would not forget His deeds, but would keep His commands. They would not be like their ancestors, stubborn and rebellious generation. Listen, there are so many things that I had to stumble and fall because of me being stubborn, or me not understanding the way, or not having the generational knowledge to be able to make changes. And I absolutely believe these are the messages that I get in my rest, that there is nothing to be ashamed about, that God is bringing the youth to me so that I can teach what it is that I have the wisdom on. I don't have the wisdom on everything, but the things that I do have the wisdom on, I'm able to help and teach generations. I've really been blessed with these and I always use the word unique because it's so beautiful how God just puts all of the pieces together. I often, as a young adult, felt different and felt I did not have someone to fast forward to. So yes, I had people in my life that had beautiful lives and from the outside that I could see, and they were an example of strong and great women. But what I had in mind for my life, I didn't see that. So then I started to try to be what I did see, thinking that that was the only way. And I often think about if I had someone to show me or to reveal to me the things that I had in my head, if I saw that right in front of me, how much I would have maybe, like how much heartache I would not have experienced. So it is absolutely my duty to share when God tells me to share. It is absolutely my duty to take on this passion and this purpose. Like, I don't know, giving myself to God in rest has just put so much into a fresh perspective. So number one, rest is Bible. Rest is the only way that you can restore. Rest has the word relaxation in its definition, and relax means to release tension and anxiousness. Do not be anxious for anything. The way that you're able to do that is to be in rest. Your rest is holy. It is all connected. So the next time you don't want to take a day off because you're scared that somebody is going to book you, the next time you are scared to take a vacation because you don't know when the next check is coming, I need you to understand what God is saying about rest. And don't operate in those places of lack. So every week, put a day on the schedule. I don't care if you are a freelancer. You put a day on the schedule where you are not taking any bookings. I don't care what comes into play. Having a day that is holy, because the Sabbath is not for God. It is for man. Because we literally need rest. If you have 2 vacations a year, make one of those vacations a holy vacation where this is the time of year that I do this. This is when I reset. This is when I restore. This is it. I have a few of those coming up this year because I had to stop being scared of what I will miss because I step away. I'm not going to miss anything. What is for me will never miss me. And I have so many different pieces of evidence in my life where I rested, I got restoration, and I got what I thought I was going to lose tenfold. So make a day that is holy for you, because deaf to being booked and busy, I want to be booked and fresh and restored so that I can live in God's purpose, so I can live in the purpose that He has for me. And I'm just living by an example. I'm not here to tell anybody what they need to be doing. I'm telling you what I'm doing and what I've been doing to get the things that I have, and to have the peace that I have, and to have the love that I have. Because if I'm not okay, nobody else is okay. And when God gives me people, places, and things to nurture and to take care of, my rest and restoration is going to be the thing that pushes. It's going to be the thing that helps me push and do what I have to do in my purpose. So I think I'm going to end this here because it's time for me to rest. More rest and relaxation for the day. Yep, it's my day off. Rest and relaxation. It's Bible. Get some rest, y'all.